I'm going to tell you this important story about the mindset of the money that you make in the business and pricing and your belief systems. So important. So I told this story before, but several years ago, actually when I first started my business, I got my first homeowners association. It was a bigger account doing all the entrances and installing and doing landscaping in a subdivision. Actually, I didn't get the job, but I had customers in this subdivision, and they offered me to quote on the HOA part of it, right? So I go do this quote, and it was like, installing and removing plants and planting shrubs and installing some rocks and doing landscaping around these 4 entrances of this very nice subdivision. And I spent 2 days straight combing through the numbers and calling around and getting prices. And when I did all the math, it came up to like $6,000. I sent them a very detailed, organized quote. And they didn't respond. And I started messaging them after a week or two, say, hey, what's going on? I really want the job. And they said, hey, Keith, we're just doing this out of a courtesy, but we just wanted to let you know, not only was your quote, we're declining to hire you because we're actually afraid that your price is too low and that you don't know what you're doing or you're going to mess something up. And I'm like, what are you talking about? My price is too low? Now, this is where the mindset comes in. Listen to me clearly. When you are out giving hundreds of quotes and meeting hundreds of customers, and your fingers on the pulse, and you're listening to customers tell stories about money problems and how they can't afford it and they're not hiring you and they want to go with the cheaper guy, you build an entire structure and belief system in your head and in your emotions that says that this is all that the marketplace can bear, or this is all that they're willing to pay. And you believe it 100%, and you will actually fight to back that up because you have real world haptic feedback and haptic data in the marketplace from real customers, hundreds of them over the period of 1, 2, 3 years, that have told you what they can and can't afford, and they're not hiring you when you're raising your prices. You're like, this is what I can charge. So I go and I submit the quote for $6,000. I'm like, this is going to be a huge job. It's back when I had the Blue Goose with the rust all over it, and I, just getting started. I think it was like my second year in. And they said, your price is so low. And I was like, what? They said, well, the first quote we got was $17,500. The next quote we got was $15,000. Then we got one for $13,500, all for the same job. And then our lowest quote was so low that we don't even want to go with it because we're afraid, was some other company, some little small fry company. It was $7,500. And you came in way below that at $6,000. And when they revealed, just as a courtesy to me, they revealed their numbers to me, my mind was absolutely blown. I couldn't even quantify or pontificate in my head how in hell some company could get off crazily charging $17,500 or even $15,000 or even $13,500. Where are they inventing, fabricating, artificially inflating these numbers from, that they think that this homeowners association or these people are stupid enough to let them just all out stuff that much profit in their pockets? How could these companies have so much overhead to be I did all the math. There was only $4,000 in total materials. For me to make $1,500 off a job, that would take me it would have taken me like a week and a half or something. How can this company charge that much? I had no idea, right? Well, it blew my mind. It'd be like telling me the freaking world is flat and showing me proof type stuff. So, as years go by, now for that same exact job, I probably would be today at least the $13,500 guy. I definitely wouldn't be the $7,500 guy. Maybe 13 to 15 grand. 17 grand still seems excessive, but I'd be way up there. And I probably would have landed the job because, but here's what I want to go back to. Your belief system becomes so strong. Like when I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with my wife, we were trapped for 5 years, paying off debt, rebuilding credit, trying to save money, trying to learn how to run this freaking business to get enough money to finally get the hell out of there and get a freaking 2-bedroom apartment, like a condo, and finally get a house. all of our neighbors lived in a one-bedroom apartment because they were our neighbors. Like, when you're there every day and you're looking at it and breathing it and you're in it, you actually start to solidify this biology of belief that that's all that exists, because that's what you see. Like, I remember the famous rapper Eminem said, how am I supposed to brag about positive when I don't see positive around me? Or how am I supposed to rap about being positive when I don't see nothing positive around me? So I want to implore you to imagine that there's an entirely different peak. There's an entirely different stratosphere. There's an entirely different whole new set of beliefs that are one breath away for you, and it's just outside of the vibration of your current reality or what you believe. And you're going to have to step out of faith, try something different, talk to different people, go to a different marketplace, change the way you offer your services, your website, your communication, something. There is only so much the market can bear. If you're in landscaping, it's a luxury service. It's tight out here. We're in an economic recession. This is all true. I'm watching my closing rate go down. It's frustrating because the last year and the year before, people were just throwing out money like candy. And it's different now. It's a different environment. But still, I just hope you catch my drift what I'm saying. I want to see you succeed. I want to see your business grow and prosper, and so you can have the business that you love. So if you're charging way too little and you believe that's all that you can get, just check your beliefs and don't listen to yourself. Or get around really, really hyper successful people who have abundance in their consciousness, and they just have positive expectancy, and they live and they breathe abundance. That's how you get that excessive cash flow, and you get that money in the bank you've always wanted. You've always dreamed of having 20, 50, 70, 100,000 in the bank, or be able to just go buy whatever you want. All right, I'm driving.